Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Veronica and today we are continuing rebuilding Willow Creek. And today I wanted to make the new version of this BFF house. And I've already rebuilt all of the houses except for this one in this neighborhood. So this is the new version, this as well, and this as well. And I think that I want to make this house somewhat similar with some similar changes, so let us get started. And first of all, not to worry about the depreciation of the house, I'm going to stick this house in my library and I'm going to place it right back, and I'm not going to leave the build mode, because if you did not know, when you leave the build mode you will get some depreciation, and we had 9,000 millions before I placed this house back. So this house was depreciated in value almost 8,000 millions. So that's a lot. And now let me tell you what I did not like about this house and why I want to rebuild that. First of all, I think you already see that the door is not centered with the stair to our front porch. And that bugs me a lot because I like when you just walk right up and everything is centered, everything is perfect. But in here, I guess why it would be made like that, because when The Sims 4 was just released almost 10 years ago, we could not place doors and windows on half tiles like now. As you see, I turned on the grid, so now we can place it like that on half tiles. Before, it was either this or this, but I did not know why wasn't it possible to just move the stairs like that, so that it would be centered, but that's okay, that's just EA. What else bothers me is that in here we have yet again medium wall height. I don't know why. It's not necessary. In the house, not that big, I would say. In here, I kind of like this whole divided area. We have like a fully functional kitchen in here with the bar, because these are like young people, they are BFFs, so they maybe like throwing some parties, and that was everything The Sims 4 was about when it was just released. And in here we have like this living area, which I like a lot, because like not a lot, which I like that we have that in here. And of course it's not properly lit, because if I go to the night, like as you see, a spot of light here, here and here, that's it. Always happens in EA builds. But what bugs me more is the fact that we have some outdoor furniture inside, like this tiny coffee table, this tiny breakfast snack, and that's pretty much it. Like, there is no more outdoor furniture. And oh, the trash can, like literally in the middle of your way to the kitchen. Perfect placement, I would say. And no, it's bad. And another thing, let us go back to this tiny breakfast snack. If you look at it like that, it looks kind of okay, except for the fact that it's outdoor furniture. And it kind of gives you the sunroom vibes. But if I just turn around the camera like slightly to this side, like, oh, where did the window go? Shouldn't there be another one, like right here? I think there should, but there is not. So I think, let us get started, and I think that the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go and I'm gonna place everything we have around the house in my household inventory, because I really think that I'm gonna use the majority of all of this furniture when I'm gonna rebuild this house. And I'm gonna try to leave it like similar vibes, but I will try to make it better. And if you did not watch any of other renovations I made for Willow Creek, you should maybe know that I try to make the same stuff in the same budget. By the way, I'm gonna set my household money to 0, so that I would not go over the price of the house we had before I just started. And yeah, we do not have that much furniture usually, so I'm a bit nervous about this reno, because I've never done that before with houses this big. Like, for me it's almost like life, but that's okay. And I think that after I've just placed everything to my household inventory, now I can go and remove some of the landscaping, because I don't think that I'm gonna need that, or I'm gonna buy some different one, because anyway we're not using debugs, so I probably will use the same trees, but I think it's gonna be better if I don't use them now. And next thing I'm gonna do is let us go and do some like major redos. Like, first of all, let's go to the whole scape of the house. I want to make this house smaller, like maybe just one tile smaller. I believe that that might look better later. I'm gonna make our entryway a little bit wider, and that is gonna be a little bit easier for me already. And I was thinking that I do not like this whole hallway, so I might actually make this house even smaller on this side, so that we'll have like a teeny tiny bathroom, a couple of tiny bedrooms. These two are not that tiny actually, so I can make this one skinnier as well. Remove one of the windows and short wall height. No need for medium wall height. And this way, these windows will actually look even fancier. But we'll have the kitchen in the same spot, we'll have our dining area in the same spot, we'll have our living area in the same spot, but we'll just try to make that better. And now that I look at it, maybe it's gonna be better to make it all smaller, like this smaller. That's what I mean about that. I'm just gonna go and sell all of the windows except for maybe a couple so that I don't forget about them later. For it to be easier for me, I'm just gonna go and remove all of the floor plan on the inside because it bothers me so much right now. And I want to add some tiny overhang to all of the roofs. And as I remember, when the base game was just released, the first time it was released, we couldn't even do that. So luckily for me, we can do that now. And I should make it like that. I think it's gonna look a bit better. But as you see, this house is ridiculously long. I want to make something like more like this so that it's not that ridiculously long. So I can make this porch tiny bit smaller because we do not need a porch this huge. I'm gonna make this room a tiny bit smaller, this part a tiny bit smaller, and I want to make this part a tiny bit smaller. And this way we have like a more tight squeeze on the inside, but I don't think that is a bad thing. So that's more of this kind of house is going to be what we'll have on the inside, I think. Nice. And for the outside, I think that that's much better already. And I know that I'm kind of biased because I'm doing that, so I like what I do, but I sometimes just get really conscious and I do not like what I do at all. So the next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna remove all of these fans. I know that I'm gonna place it back, so do not worry about that. And maybe if I'm making this house so much smaller, we will be able to afford maybe even a pool. And if you did not know, when the base game was just released, we didn't have pools in Sims 4. I'm gonna replace this door for the similar one, but for short wall height, because there is this one. It's exactly the same, but short. I like the way it looks. Maybe I can make a porch a tiny bit smaller. That's better. I like that. Next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pick for us a back door. We do not have the door with the same swatches, unfortunately, the short one at least. I can fit a black one or something like that, but we do not have a door that has the same swatches as this one. So I think I'm gonna stick this one in the black swatch. And as I've almost figured out majority of our house on the outside, like we have pretty much the house now, I think that I can go and figure out the floor plan, because if we have a floor plan, I think that we'll be able to figure out the rest of the house. I get that all of the bedrooms we had before are going to be much smaller than they were originally, but I think that I might do that better. At least I hope so. So first of all, what I wanted to do is I wanted to stick, maybe to move around our bedrooms a little bit. So I was thinking something like that. I've moved the bathroom and I know that it's kind of a tight squeeze now, so that we don't have like any full bedroom where we could fit like all the stuff. But this way we'll still be able to have like our kitchen nook in here. I think I'm gonna make like a tiny divider in here. We'll have like our dining area in here. We'll still have the bar we had before, and I think that we'll still be able to fit here like a fully functional living area, maybe with some kind of a desk nook around here. And I think that that is like okay, or floor plan. I'm still not sure about that, and I'm not gonna be sure till I try to execute that. So now let me figure out the windows. I don't think that's gonna be a hard thing for me to do. but think that I want to leave that many windows we had in Summer's room, and I will need to fix all of the foundations, all of the exterior walls, because I was messing a lot with the whole floor plan inside, and I'm trying to play by my own rules. So I had this one type of windows in the back of the house, or and on the sides, like literally everywhere, and I'm gonna leave these same type of windows. And I know that these are a lot of windows for a bedroom this small, but maybe I can make it somewhat like that. But now I don't like that, it looks kind of like eyes. Maybe it's better if it has no windows in the back. Or maybe I can just scoot them a little bit so that they don't look like that weird. Now that definitely looks like eyes. Alright, for the back I'm gonna think a little bit later. Up on this side, I think that we can afford to have like some windows up here. That's not gonna look bad. I'm trying to center them with the outside walls, and I'm gonna have that same sunroom we've had here before, and I'm still not sure if I should make it tiny bit wider or if I should not. If I make it wider, I will be able to fit a bigger table in here, but this way actually I still can fit like a double table in here with four chairs, and that's gonna look good. In here I want to stick a bar right against the wall so that we have like kind of a nice walking space around here. I'm gonna change the flooring so that it doesn't bother me. And in the living room, I was thinking that this area is gonna be a bar, but in the living room, I want to leave like a blank wall so that we can fit a TV in here. And in here by the entrance, I was thinking about getting us a desk nook, so I think that's gonna be a good spot for that. In here, I'm not placing any windows. Maybe I'm gonna place some kind of a decor in here, and this wall is going to be occupied with the door, so I'm not bothering with that. And as for the majority of the outside, I think that that kind of looks okay already, and I want to believe that that looks better than what we had before. And for this piece of roofing, I was wondering, yes, this overhang does make things a little bit better. Maybe I can place here some kind of ventilation so that it doesn't look like that side at all. And for the side, we had here the same fence we had down on our side yard. And what I was thinking, that we do not need side yard as big as we had that. I think that a slightly smaller side yard is going to be better for us. So I think I'm going to make something like that. Does that look better? And I like how I made that, because this way these two fences kind of line with each other. I might switch that to something that's gonna look a little bit better, a little bit fancier, like this one. It doesn't look fancy, I would say, but that still looks better. And I'll have to stick with the same columns, because my rule is don't add too much new, but improve the old. Now I think, let us go back and place that furniture that I think I'm gonna leave in the spot where it is. I'm gonna stick the trash can in here, like kind of under our porch, so that's still easily usable, easily accessible. I think later I'm gonna scoot the house on the lot, but I'm not doing it now. I might place our grill back. I might place our dining table back on our tiny porch. Maybe I can switch a different color for our dining table outside so that it's kind of more matching with the chairs we have, at least. So that you see blue chairs, blue overhang. Back to the doors actually, because we still need the doors on the inside, and I'm skipping all around, and that is because I absolutely do not know what I'm doing. And I made a bad thing in here, because in here, as I've just figured, one tile entrance to the bedroom. That looks terrible on this side, because it eats this corner we have on these doors. So what are we thinking about that? Should I make like the kitchen area a little bit smaller, but I don't want to make this bedroom too large. And I do not want to make this bedroom smaller, because this bedroom is already small enough. I might make this bedroom bigger actually, do it somewhat like that, so that this bedroom kind of eats a part of this area, but this way I'll have like kitchen literally ending nowhere, and I don't like that either. I can scoot my breakfast nook, and we'll have to scoot the bar like here, but I don't like that either. All right, I'm gonna figure it out a tiny bit later. Let me kind of sit with that. And this way we have a hallway again, back to the originals, as I would say. And let me just, yeah, place all of the furniture we already have, like main furniture, back to the house. So Summer had this bed in her bedroom, and I would like to still place it back, maybe somewhat like that, because I don't like how beds like this look cornered, because they do not look like beds that are supposed to be in the corner. I might actually stick this kind of room divider right by the bed. I know that it's gonna make this double bed not completely functional as a double bed, but it's gonna make this room a little bit more pretty for me, at least, because I like how it looks now. I'm gonna stick back some more stuff here, like this all stuff. I'm not using these wall lights. I'm not even bothering with that. And does anybody have... Oh, I got that. I just wondered why we had counters of two different colors. And I figured that that happened because we used to have counters in our bathrooms. Not anymore. We are not having that. I'm not sticking these side tables as well. Nowhere. They do not need to be in here. I might still stick this tiny shoe shelf in Summer's bedroom, and the bedroom should still be usable by this area, so that's not going to be a problem for me, at least. It's not nothing is a problem for me, by the way, so that's okay. I'm gonna do similar floor plan for this bedroom, and in the toilet we'll just have nothing special, just a toilet, just a sink, just a shower. And that's what I was worried about. If I'm gonna place here a bar with a couple of bar stools, we are gonna have our bar stools in our living area, and that is not exactly what I want to happen. So I'm gonna ignore the problem for now, and I'm gonna go to the kitchen and furnish it all. But I think that we'll have like kind of a built-in kitchen vibes in here. I'm gonna make this kind of double cabinet up top of the fridge. And do we have some stove ventilation? Yes, we had one. Mean the time to use the whole cabinet for once. I'm gonna leave this counter maybe just with the sink. Did we have... No, we had different sink in here. And I'm gonna sell the bar we had in here because we are not having that monstrosity in the house. Like, you see that? I can have it in here, but then we have no cooking space. So I'm gonna stick here a smaller bar because I do not want to bother with that. I don't even want to try. I'm not doing that. I think that we can have this smaller looking one, and this way apparently we'll have to switch all of the cabinets to different ones, but that's not a problem, I would say. I'm just trying to pick a similar swatch. I'm gonna use this one because it has a light countertop. So this is the bar piece I'm gonna use. And before, in this house, when I was starting, we've had kind of like this piece so that it's like kind of a corner bar, and I think that I might actually do it in here again, but I'm gonna stick bar stools on this side instead of this one, so that we kind of do not clip into our living area, and that would be perfect. That's gonna be a solution for our problem. And back to the same stuff, and I'm sorry if you cannot see anything, because me neither. I think that I'll need to stick some lights, because otherwise it's gonna be impossible to watch for everybody, even for me when I'm gonna edit this video. Am I biased, or is it already much better lit than it was originally? And of course I did mess up the swatch. I would really like that if this cabinet would not clip into the fridge, but that seems for... So I'm not bothering with that. And what else I wanted to do is this fire alarm. We'll need that in the kitchen. I'm gonna stick it in here somewhere, like not that visible. We have our kitchen floor plan kind of figured out. I think that I'm gonna sell majority of the lights, majority of some decor, because I don't think that I'm gonna use most of that. And if I'm just gonna leave what I think I'm gonna use. I think that's kind of obvious. And we might stick this slide we had on 9 instead. We can stick it up on this dresser. That's gonna be better. And we still can fit here the carpet we had in here before. And for now, I think I'm gonna leave Summer's room. Now let us go to room of Travis or the third girl. I actually don't remember what her name was. I remember one of the rooms was kind of like a guitar, a couple of decor, a backpack, and another one was like desk, and that's it. So, and we had a camera in one of the rooms. I'm gonna be really embarrassed if I mess this up. And I think that I did not find a spot where I would. Oh, that's perfect. The perfect spot for that, actually. So now we have figured out where this is gonna hang because I was worried about that. And all right, it all kind of tells me where it was originally. Yeah, red light, computer. So what I think, I can stick a desk against the window. This bed can go up on this wall. I think it's gonna be kind of cute to have like a view from your window to the neighbors, to the garden we have in this area. So that's kind of cute. So I think I'm gonna leave it like that. I'm gonna sell all of the curtains. I'm not using them again. And this bedroom had like this kind of vibe. So I'm gonna leave it. I'm sorry, but no desk in your bedroom did not fit, unfortunately for you. Luckily for me, maybe. Or you guys all live alone. You do not need a completely functional double bed. So if I'm gonna stick this bed like against the wall in here, if I'm gonna stick some kind of a bookshelf as a room divider in here, will you really suffer if I do it like that? I'm not sure. I don't think that you're gonna be like really the one who is suffering. These jazz cats will go on this wall nicely. These pictures, as I remember, were one above another one, but I don't like that kinda, so I think I'm gonna stick one above our dresser, and another one can go on the wall opposite to our bed. These can go to the sale. I'm gonna sell the curtains because I don't like them. And as I remember, this bedroom had a couple of these mirrors. We are not leaving that. I do not like that. And back. Now we can fit in here a desk as well. You will have a desk. You won't have a computer. You will have a computer. You will have a tablet. That's gonna be enough for you. You can have a desk lamp, and you can have a desk lamp. And I think that this was the opposite way around. So like that. I'm just so unsure now if that's silly looking or if that's okay. I'm gonna imagine that you're a student. I don't know who of you all is gonna live in here. The bookshelf in the corner, you won't have a dresser and you actually do not really need that. No bookshelf, no mirror. You can have a tiny panda if you really want to, and yeah. This is yours, definitely. And you like dinosaurs, so you will have them on the wall in here as well. Would you like to have a camera? I don't think so. That's too expensive for you. And you will need that cloth you had before, but I'm not sure if I should stick it like here, because this way maybe we'll need like a shelf somewhat like that on the downside. And actually I can't stick this shelf we had in our living room. I think I'm gonna do it like that, so that in here we'll have like some open shelving, and in here we can have a desk. Or I will think about that. I'm gonna sell that coffee table we had because that was terrible to have a coffee table, outdoors coffee table on the outside. You can have some skincare maybe in your bedroom, so that kind of looks okay. I'm gonna sell the second cabinet in here. We'll need this above the sink we'll buy for our bathroom. we'll need this in the kitchen somewhere. I think that maybe even here. We do not need all of these counters to be completely usable, I think. And we might stick these apples in here. And we had also some oranges, and I don't think that we are gonna find any spot in this house for that, so I'm not leaving it in here. But I think that for the bathroom, I'm gonna leave this tiny cabinet we had before, and this bookshelf is going for sale. And that is just because I do not like that bookshelf. I like this one much more. And that one fits perfectly in this hallway and makes it look completely not that empty. And bar stools are going to this side of the kitchen. And what do you think? Are we gonna have like a blue accents in this area or maybe red ones? I was thinking about going for more neutral colors in here. So maybe I'll have to use this beige rug again in here. And I know that it's kind of a tight squeeze now, but I'm gonna switch this carpet color to beige. I'm gonna make these armchairs red, and the TV is going back. And we will need to buy a coffee table because now we have none. And maybe this slide can go somewhere. I think it's gonna go for sale. A perfect place to go for this slide. And we'll have quite a lot of extra money in this house now that I'm finishing with just placing all of this stuff around here. And we'll need some area to place maybe stereo. This lamp will go perfectly in this corner. This flower can go perfectly in this corner. I know that it was kind of like in the middle of our living room. We can have our tiny garden area in here. I think that we'll have a stair right here, like this maybe. Does it go okay for you? I know that this whole outdoors area still looks kind of empty, and I was thinking, what if we get a tiny pool for these guys? What do you think? I would not say that that is like that expensive in here. I would not say that for these guys. I think that for them, having a pool in their backyard is kind of reasonable. They have similar vibes around their house anyway. So why don't we have a pool in here? I know that this bench placement looks kind of weird, so I'm not leaving that. Do not worry about that. So around the pool, I think that we'll need some kind of tile, maybe like that. I think that I can use the same stone we had at our pathway toward the house, so that we have like sort of a defined area for our garden area, and we have like pretty obvious pool area around here. I think that the pool this size is going to be quite reasonable for the house like that, and I'm gonna place a tiny ladder for the pool because we do not need like pretty much else for that. Maybe I'm gonna place a couple of lounge chairs, we'll see. And as for whole inside of the house, I think now we need to furnish this thing, and this thing is huge. So I'm gonna complete what I've started already, and we did not have like any fancy furnishing around the house. I think that I can pick some kind of a light pink or like beige main color scheme for around the house. I think that beige looks kind of neutral for most of stuff. I think that for all of the bedrooms I'm not gonna bother like that much, because for this one, as I remember, we had like some sorts of a dark red wallpapers, and I think I'm gonna have like similar vibes around here. Maybe I can stick some usable books in here in the corner so that they are kind of more fun for you if you play in this house. And I think that for this room I'm not gonna add like much else. So my idea for this room mostly is what we already have in here. And I think that instead of this rug I can just place here a carpet, because that's gonna look a bit better. And not the red one, of course, but we can actually go for black one, because that would literally bring out all of the colors we've used in here. The same way I can use different shades of blue in the girls' bedrooms, and this can go with light blue wallpaper. And I think that in here I can use this wallpaper, that will do. But in here, I will really need to use something pattern because if some holidays living in here, I don't think that she will like a plain wallpaper. Something like this that is a little bit more fancy is gonna sit here much better. So that's what I'm gonna do in here. And by the way, for Summer's room, I was really thinking about using this mirror, but this way I'm not gonna be really sure if she will be able to enter her own room. So I might actually sneak it right like that. I'm gonna leave it like partly empty, and I was thinking about placing maybe some kind of a chair in front of this dresser. I know that that's gonna make a dresser not functional, but there is this chair in the base game, and it's not gonna be functional. Don't click like that. If I use this chair like here, doesn't it look like a vanity? What do you think? It kind of looks like a vanity table for me, but I'm not really sure that it's like a good vanity, and we might use something like that in here so that, you know, Summer just like some skincare. Maybe she likes taking care of herself, so that is why she has all of this stuff around in her room. I'm gonna leave this wall blank, I think, or maybe I can just hang here some clothes and leave this where it was. And actually, we need a stereo on this house, and we do not have that yet. So I might place it right in here. We can even afford a better one because I think it's they like throwing some party. They would like to have a good stereo in the house. I don't think that I'm gonna pick like many different colors, many different wallpapers around this room. I think that boring beige is gonna be the perfect bet I can have around here. And to the dining area and to the kitchen, I need backsplash. So what if we have some stone as a backsplash, like that? Or it looks a bit too modern for the house where these Sims would live. For me, it looks kind of okay. And if you're worried that this kitchen won't be functional, I was imagining that it is like tiny little kitchen where everything is stored, but your Sims will cook on these counters. Don't worry, they are smart enough to cook on these surfaces. They will do that. They would do that even if you did not want them to do that. Up to this area. What I was thinking, by the way, and have a tiny sunlight going right into the kitchen. So I was thinking to make it somehow like that. I know that it looks kind of silly, especially on the outside, but I kind of like the way it looks on the inside. And I'm gonna just make it solid glass so that it looks a little bit better. And on the inside, it looks silly as well, of course. Like we have like just a gap in the wall, you see, that's it. But it gives this tiny square when you play, and it looks kind of cute. So I like adding some kind of a tiny sunlight in the house. And as for the kitchen area, that's what I wanted to do. We'll have a dining area like this. And no, I'm not placing these outdoors chairs. No, I'm not that kind of a person. These ones will look much better in here, and we can have a fruit bowl in our kitchen right by the trash can, so that in case if the fruit is spoiled, you can throw it away. And we can have another one right on the table. But I was thinking that we might actually sneak in here a tiny bouquet, and that's gonna look much better. And what else we'll need? We'll need a tiny little rug underneath our kitchen area, because in here we didn't have anything, and I want to have in here something in our dining area so that that looks a little bit better. And in here I don't think that we need that much of a decor. I was just thinking maybe we have some fun light to place on top of the bar. Like I like doing it like that with these two lights, so a kind of an archway above the bar area. And in our living area, as I've said before, we do need a coffee table, at least a simple one. This one kind of matches the rack, so I like that. But the wood swatches do not match, but it's The Sims. So from years of playing The Sims 4, I've learned to ignore the fact that wood swatches do not match. And we can maybe place here some fun additions around the house. Like, do you want to know a car? I was thinking about maybe placing a video game console, but we not have it in the base game, so maybe not this time. And I'm gonna stick some flowers around, maybe some decor, so that this house looks kind of cool and fun and all this stuff. And I was thinking about placing a tall looking mirror somewhere in here so that if you enter the house or if you exit the house, you can check yourself, see how you look, so that you know. And we don't have any kind of a front porch rug, so I'm gonna place it in here. I'm gonna place a tiny one inside in the area where you might want to remove your shoes. I can even sneak some kind of coat rack in the entrance so that we have a spot to place our coats. Maybe in here I can just stick a couple of books, a lamp, that's gonna be enough for this area. In here we have quite a lot. Maybe I can just place some more decor, some more clutter down on this area so that at least we have something in here. Maybe, I don't know, somebody was painting their nails or somebody just left their diary in here. I wouldn't do that if I lived with a lot of roommates. No, we can place some cookies in the kitchen. And that's gonna be like a really tiny cute addition to the whole kitchen area for me. And this area, I kind of don't like that it looks a bit empty, so I'm gonna add to it a little bit. I can even stick here like this tiny rug so that it looks a little bit more fun. What do you think? And this hallway, I don't think that we need anything else. Like we have a light, that's more than enough. In this bedroom, I think that what else we can add in here is some curtains, but I don't think that we'll need any curtains in this house. I'm gonna even remove some in the summer's bedroom because they are quite expensive and we can spend it on somewhere else that's gonna be better. For example, I did not finish a bathroom yet, and I need to do that because I do not want to leave this house not functional in the end. And what I wanted to do, we are gonna have here a red robe, light blue one, and a pink one, of course, so that everybody has their robe in the bathroom. In this corner, I would like to add a cabinet. And actually in here, instead of this shower or tub, I could have placed a shower tub combo if I sold it all. And I think that that's gonna be much better addition to the bathroom. I'm gonna place this plain white tile because this bathroom was white in the first place, so I'm gonna make it white again. I know that it looks silly a little bit, we don't have that much. We have a towel, so that's more than enough, and we have ropes in here, so that's enough as well. I'm gonna just stick here this towel on the wall, and I think that a couple of toothbrushes and the bathroom might be done. For this room, I don't think that we need to add in here anything at all. Maybe a tiny flower in here, and maybe these books can move in here, like, you know, as if she was reading in her bed and not in the entrance to that. And I can sell this light because I don't see any spot where I would like to place that. We have this tiny weird corner that we can fill with something fun, like maybe a flower. Maybe we can place here some kind of a statue. Gray? No. Flamingo? Maybe we can place here a gnome flamingo. That should wait till we go to the backyard. No, 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 that is huge. Actually, I can place here another coat rack, see if she has her own. So that she doesn't have a dresser, the only one who doesn't. So she needs something like that, and that's gonna be okay, I think. And she has a tiny like reading area in her room, so I don't think that that is bad thing as well. And her room is quite well lit, as every other as well. What I do not like is that we still have like this kind of empty area in here, but I do not know. I really don't know how I should feel that. And I think that I might just leave it empty because that doesn't look bad. Yes, we have an empty room in here, and if you really want to, you can actually switch this tiny table to a desk. And I could have done that, and I still might do that actually, but I just not like how this table was stuck right to this corner in here. And I do not want to have a desk in the entryway. That's gonna look a little bit weird. And yeah, a tiny downgrade for this house. We do not have curtains anymore. We had them in here. Not anymore. And I'm sorry if you really wanted me to place here some curtains, but no, I'm not doing that. And we can place here these cheapest lounge chairs in our outside area. I can place here this tiny table so that I can stick here these tiny lamps so that it's not that dark outside. And I think that as now I've pretty much done it all, we have 400 extra millions, and that means that I can go and do some landscaping, or I can try to figure out what else I can place in here. Like maybe it would be wise of me to place here a chess table right in the entryway. But as we do not have like that kind of money, planters will do. Next thing I wanted to do, I wanted to scoot the whole lot several tiles closer to the front. I'm gonna use the same stone I had before in our entryway, and did that not ruin my house? No, that did not. I'm gonna place some more ventilation around so that at least we have some. The only house we're gonna have that. And let us go for landscape. We cannot afford much, unfortunately, because I've spent all of our money. Like this tree, it's a beautiful tree, and I would really like to place it like somewhere maybe in our backyard, maybe like here. But I'm really not sure, can we afford that or not? Because for now, I did place that, but can we afford that? That's a whole different question. About this tiny area, I would really like to fill that like with some bushes, like I just did, and that looks kind of good for me. Up here, I can stick maybe some more, but I think that's gonna be a little bit too much for my liking. And I like sometimes I like placing maybe just some of these flowers in random spots. I think that we do not need this bench. That's like literally extra furniture around the house. But I was thinking that we might have maybe a couple of these bushes somewhere in the corner because they are kind of big and they are kind of noticeable. So they won't look like a bit too sad, because in the whole scape of the things, I think everything is gonna look a bit too sad because we do not have like any landscaping around the house except for what I'm placing right now. And yeah, maybe I a little bit overdid that inside, and I should have let some more money for the landscaping, because I usually neglect that till the very end because I always hope on debug. Up in this corner we might have another tree. I might stick some flowers underneath that so that it doesn't look that sad. The same thing I can do in here in this corner. For this tree, I don't think that any flowers are like that much of a necessity. And I think that wrapping around our backyard like this is going to be better. And this way we will have our trash can accessible from our front door. And I think that I might stick another one of these bushes up in here. Or I can go for some of these ones. I'm just afraid they're gonna clip on the inside a little bit, but they don't, so that's good. And I might stick my trash can like right against that. So that's what we are gonna have. I have only 1 million left, and I don't think that I can buy anything else for this money. And now that we have all of the landscaping, I think we can go for terrain paint. And yeah, I was leaving it for the last because terrain paint is free. I do not need to worry about spending too much money on that. So first of all, I'm gonna go and add some kind of shadow underneath all of the trees I have around the house, all of the bushes I have around the house, and I'm gonna line up all of the pathways I want to have around the house. And yeah, in this house we have like a sort of a luxury, because in here I did not decide to go for just terrain paint to line up our pool area, and I decided to do that with like real flooring, no terrain paint. Surprised? I am. So in here, in our like trash can area, how else would I call that? Of course, a trash can area. We need to have a pathway toward that so that it looks more realistic, as if your Sims are really walking all the way around here. And I like usually using a whitish dirt brush at first and go like that towards our pathway to the house. Maybe make it even brighter. And then I shrink a brush a little bit and go with some pebbles around that so that I can go like through the same pathway, so that I use kind of the same area for doing that. But in the end it looks a little bit more faded, and I just finish it up with a slight wider pebbles again. If it didn't go well, clean it up a little bit on the side, like that maybe, because I did not want that to be that wide as it turned out to be, and go for a second try. There is nothing bad about that. And I like adding some dirt underneath any terrain paint I add because it kind of gives some more dimension. I'm gonna place some more dirt under my trash can and under the house because I wiped it out accidentally. And what I just figured out, we do not have any outdoor slides, and we need at least a couple. So no more gardening stuff outside. Sorry if you hope for that. But outdoor lights are more important. So I'm gonna stick one of these in here. I'm gonna remove this bush because this was just to have something. And this one in here goes. And now, after I finished all of the terrain paint, this is pretty much the house. Let me give you a quick tour. So I did not change the whole idea of the outside, I just decided to make it a little bit better, at least in my opinion. It's better now for me. For you, I do not know. Let us go inside right away. So from our main entryway, you go to this tiny porch where if you really want to, you can place here maybe a chess table or something like that. When we go inside, in here we have like our tiny entryway where we have a coat rack, a shoe shelf, a mirror to check yourself before you leave the house, tiny table where you can drop the keys if you really want to. In, and also right here we have our living area. In the living area we have a couple of armchairs, we have a couch, and yeah, I know that these armchairs are like not symmetrical towards the TV. They would be symmetrical if it was like that, but that is intentional. I'm gonna even rotate it like that so that it looks intentional, so that maybe this person likes sitting right next to the bar and this one likes more conversing to these people or maybe watching outside of the window. And in here you seems they might watch TV, they might throw some putties, so that I think everybody's gonna have some fun in here. But these BFFs, they like spending some time in here as well, so that is why maybe somebody was painting their nails, they were watching some TV all by themselves, maybe they were reading some books or writing something in their own diary. And right in here, from the living room, in here we have our whole kitchen dining area, and I really like the way it turned out actually. So in here we did not have like proper wrapping nook before, but I just decided to make it longer and I think that it turned out nicely. And if you're questioning me about why this tile is only on this one tile niche in here, that is because it was most logical for me and I wanted to add tile to the kitchen. And by the way, right by the kitchen we have some music, so when your Sims will cook they can listen to some music, and if they throw some putties they can listen to some music as well. Here are like some rules of the house as I was imagining that, and yeah, they are breaking the rules because one of the rules in my imagination is no loud music, and they have a stereo in here. And back to the kitchen. In here we have like a sunroom. In the sunroom, I decided to add here this tiny sunlight. So I think it's gonna look really good. And for the sunlight, I'm gonna scoot this light a tiny bit like off center so that it's not clipping with the edge of our sunlight. And in the kitchen we have kind of expensive kitchen in here because these are the most expensive counter, one of the most expensive bars, two tiles bars in the game, and we have not the cheapest appliances in here, so that is quite justified, I would say. And as about the whole floor plan, I did not change it dramatically because in here we still have like 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom. But the bathroom was first in this corner. I decided to switch it here in the middle of the room because it doesn't need a window. And bedrooms do need windows. So I decided to make a smaller hallway but more useful space. So in the bathroom we have a shower tap combo. Before we had only a shower. We have a sink, we have a toilet. The cheapest one, I know, but if you play with this household, you can switch it later. And also in here we have 3 rows of the 3 Sims who live in here. So at first, in the first rooms, we have a guitar, a backpack, pretty much all the furniture we had in here before, but slightly reorganized. And this flower was in the living room. Now it's in the bedroom, and I think it's better in here. In the second bedroom, we have our tiny bed, We have this shelf at our legs where we maybe store some books, maybe we have a couple of flowers. Here we have our additional coat rack, some storage, because this is the only bedroom that doesn't have dresser. And in here we have a computer right by the windows with view to the tree, but that's still not bad, I think. And then here we can read, so that is literally very useful bedroom. In this one we have a tablet, so that's not bad as well, and a couple of bookshelves as well. The third bedroom is the most useless one, but in here you can sleep, and that's it. You can make all of your roommates not wear shoes. You can tell all of them to wear slippers or to go barefoot around the house. So you have some power if you live in this room, if you're summer holiday. But in here, I decided to make this dresser like a vanity, and I think that it's kind of okay. I'm not sure that it is perfect. And this room has the best view to our side yard. And now, as I was saying that, let us go to our yard. So first of all, we have a tiny patio. In the patio, we have a grill and we have a tiny dining area, because what else can you do if you have your friends? And by the way, I forgot that I really wanted to switch the color of this flooring. Now it's so much better for me, for my eyes. My eyes are thankful. Down the stairs. In here we have a tiny pool area with some lounge area. So in here you can just maybe relax. If you have island living, you can get some tent and you can swim in the pool. We could not do that when the base game was released at first in 2014. Now we can do that, and I think that this backyard, side yard, it's not a backyard, this side yard was a little bit too huge not to have a pool. Now we have a pool, so I think that is good. And in here we have the same tree planters we had in here before, and also a big oak tree. So that is pretty much it. Do you think it turned out better? Please leave your opinion in the comments if you do. I really hope that you do, because I spent so much time trying to do that. I've never recorded with the voiceover for this long. Not the voiceover. I've never recorded a video when I'm talking while building for this long. So please leave your like and comment under this video. I'm gonna be really happy if you do. But if you don't, that's okay. I see your views, so that's good for me as well. So I think at this point, I'm gonna thank you all for watching. Thank you for bearing with me, because I bet this video turned out to be quite long, and it's gonna be on my gallery. My gallery name is Glover, and just like my YouTube name, it's gonna be called Garden Essence Reno. It has 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, and it's all BFF house but better. And it's also under the hashtag Willow Creek Renovation. I think that this must be a goodbye, and thank you for watching this.